everybody, this is Dana with the Freedom Please channel and essenceofme.com. I'm coming to you all today with somewhat of a blog, but more so a discussion question. And it's a question that I want to throw out to you all because I would really love to read your responses and interact with you concerning this question that I have. While I do this, because I don't know how long this video is going to be, for my crafters, I would suggest, pulling out your project and working. I am working on a, I guess this would technically be considered a cowl. I am making this with Lion brand yarn. It's the Wool Ease Thick and Quick, and the color is oatmeal. I guess what else can I tell you about it? Because it's not, this thing is taking me forever. The needles, I'm using the bamboo needles that I showed you all before that I ordered on Amazon, and they're I don't know why I always want to say 29 inches, but I don't think so. I think the cable is actually 29. So it's probably somewhere like 32 or 34 inches, I can't recall. And the actual size of the needles, I believe it's a 15. Oh, 13. It's a 13, a US 13. And I'm almost done. I'm just working this until I get to the end of this second skein of yarn. This is a part of my works in progress that I want to get rid of some of the yarn that I have from last season that I want to wear, because I got rid of so much of my stuff last year. I am a person that tends to give away stuff. But I'm telling myself, after working so hard on this, I am not giving this away. But I say that all the time. So with that said, the discussion question that I have for you today is concerning yarn crafting classes. I have done reviews on them, I guess maybe one. I've done one review on a class that I did through CreativeBug. And I did a couple of those. And if you're not familiar with CreativeBug, CreativeBug is an online crafting tutorial website. They don't just do yarn crafting classes. They do quilting, they do sewing, they even do some other things like stamping and scrapbooking. So I took one of the gifts that I received over the Christmas holidays last year was a membership to the CreativeBug website. Now, the difference with CreativeBug versus I've taken a class on Craftsy, or I've taken a few classes on Craftsy. You can find me over there at Essence of Me. But on Craftsy, you pay for one class and you take that class and you have access to the videos and chatting and all that. And then CreativeBug, you pay whatever your membership level is and you have access to all of the classes. So that's one of the big differences between those two. I know there are probably others. I mean, of course, there's YouTube. There are people on YouTube that do, they design patterns and then they post their videos to YouTube, but you have to purchase the pattern in order to get the exact stitch count and things of that sort to be able to fully execute the pattern. So with all of that said, and this is, again, I'm considering it a vlog because I'm everywhere and I don't even have notes. But with that said, what do you all think about paying for these types of classes? And I say paying because I think the membership on CreativeBug, if you do like a 1 month, it's about $20. And they have quarterly, and I think they have biannually or annually, and every time the price scales down, the higher level of commitment that you make. And then on Craftsy, I've seen classes probably as low as $20 without some sort of discount or coupon or special, all the way up through, I think I've seen $60, but don't quote me. So that's the question. What do you think about these classes? What do you think about paying for an online class that has the videos and the patterns available to you, and what are some of the deciding factors that you use when determining whether to do them. And I say that as someone that I love taking classes. I teach classes at Joann's now, and I think I've told you all that before. I have some more classes coming up at the end of the year. I'm scheduled for November and December, and I'll do some more between now and then as fill-in. But I'll tell you more about that when they come up. But I take classes at Joann's, and I've taken classes. I think I've done it at Michael's or Hobby Lobby too. With that said, one of the reasons why I like the online classes versus the in-store classes is because you can go back to the online classes and revisit them and take your time, and you have an opportunity to slowly work through the patterns, and I like that. But one of the things that I found with Craftsy that they remedied, which is one of the selling points for the in-store classes, is the access to the instructor. You know, being able to ask a question or bring a piece in and show where you are and see where your hang-ups are, especially when it comes to knitting and you have things like removing stitches and unknitting your project so that you can pull back, or having a lifeline and going back to the lifeline and reestablishing your project again. It's better when you have someone looking. I don't know why my hair looks lopsided, I'm sorry. With someone looking at the project to help you. And so I find that when you have an instructor involved that you have access to, that is extremely helpful. I think with YouTube videos you kind of somewhat get that aspect, because even today I was commenting on someone that saw the Cowboys blanket and being able to explain something to them, or them being able to message me and we can kind of have a little dialogue as much as you can, which is direct access to the creator of that pattern. I'm bringing this up because I did a class, and once you do a class, they ask you, sometimes they'll ask you to do a review. And after I did the class, I wrote a review, and it really hurt me to give a very low rating to this particular class. And so whenever I have to give a low rating for anything, I try my best to be detailed. I mean, not a dissertation, right? But I try to be detailed because it's so hard when it comes to valuation of crafts. I mean, many people that watch my YouTube videos are crafters. Now, you have some of you that craft because you just make it, I mean, you know, it's a de-stressor, you enjoy buying yarn, and because you buy so much yarn, you have to do something with it. You do it, I think I said gifts, and then you have some of you that have shops, and you have Etsy shops, and you do craft shows, and you do fairs. And I find that the more you make, the more you esteem someone else that makes by hand. And the valuation that you give something that is made by hand is something totally different than something that is done by machine or something along that lines, in my opinion. I know as someone that is a budding knitter, I still say budding because I'm still figuring this thing out. Knitting a hat can take you, you know, a fair amount of time. And then you can go in somewhere like a neighborhood beauty store and purchase a knit hat for $5. To me, it makes me want to scream, because there are so many people that make hand knit hats that them asking $10, I think is crazy. So if you find somebody that says, oh, you can buy this for $10, like, not me. I would give it as a gift before I sold it for $10. And here's why. Not unless you are a speedy knitter, or no, I know, because that just because someone's fast doesn't mean you should devalue, what they've done. If even, like, let's say my daughter, she can knit a hat on a loom in about an hour or so. I could do it in less on a loom, but I rarely do looms. All of the hats that I do, I just hand knit them on, around circular needle. I mean, a circular needling. That's what I do. And I'm saying all of this, and I keep saying that, so forgive me, because it's about valuation. It's about valuation of time and effort. And so when it comes to something that is so very subjective, like a knitting object, a class, it's difficult. And that's why I don't like giving low ratings, because someone else can sit through that same thing and say, wow, this is fantastic. I would spend whatever dollars for this class. And so I always try my best as a fellow crafter to take that into consideration. But at the same time, my question then becomes, then what is the benchmark? Some of the classes have unique patterns that if you were to go out onto Ravelry, you would have to buy the pattern. Okay, that would be one bonus, right? Okay, if the pattern on Ravelry is $8 or $10, okay, I would take that into consideration of what I pay for this class. The ability to have access to the videos in the future, the accessibility of the instructor, the detailedness of the videos, I am a person that I really like instructors that give tips and not necessarily tricks, but things like that I can kind of store in my mind. And so when I'm working on my own designs, that it comes in handy. Again, that's something that's very subjective, because you don't know where each knitter or crocheter is that they are, those that are taking the class. And so this is, I guess, I don't think it's a rant. This is not a rant, right? No, it's not a rant. But I'm saying all of this because I had to give it a low rating, and it kind of hurt me, but I had to. And yeah. So with that said, I'd love to know what you think. And I know that YouTube is discontinuing response videos, but if you create a video as a response or something, you can also, if you message me, I'm going to start making playlists, because I think it would be helpful. I love to watch YouTube videos when I'm knitting or I'm working or I'm in between teaching and things like that. And so I like playlists that just continue to play. So if you do decide to respond and do it as a video response, please message me and I will add it to the playlist. But I really would like to know what you all think. And while you're at it, tell me what you think is a reasonable price for an online class. And better yet, patterns. Because I think in some respects, we're spoiled. And I'm going to say we because I'm one of them. I mean, you have people like Bob Wilson 123 and Beth in Texas that do these amazing detailed videos. Now, there's a bunch of video tutorials. Don't get me wrong. But I'm talking about detailed ones that take so much time. And when I do the tutorials, people ask, and I love doing them, but it takes a lot of work in my opinion. I've been working on this one tutorial video for forever. I'm not going to tell you how long. And they take a lot of time. And I'm not even a person that does a whole bunch of editing, because I feel like I'm already taking hours to do this. I'm not going to do a whole bunch of editing. If there's parts that you don't like, skip it. I try my best to put an index in the description box that will allow you to hop around with some ease, or I will break them up. And that's one of the reasons why I break up my videos, because I tend to record them over time to make it still fun for me. And then I can put them all together on a playlist. And then you will have all of those pieces together, and I'll show you how to skip the introduction and skip the closing if you want to, and bada boom, bada bing, we're done. But that has spoiled me, I know, right? Because If you can go to your benchmark is no valuation. It's free. It's just your time, which is not free, but it is. And then you go to somewhere and they say, oh, you have, this is $39.99, and in your mind you say, wow, well, I just did a tutorial by, you know, X, Y, and Z, and it was free, and look at all of these things I learned, or this is all the different ways that I could utilize that piece of information that the tutorial provided. And so I'm a little bit everywhere because it's still kind of bothering me, and I just did it, and I probably shouldn't have recorded this right after doing it. I know it was for the right reason, but it just really makes me think. And it also makes me think because of planning the stuff that's coming up on my channel, and it really just makes me wonder. And I don't have a solid answer. I have answers of what I think when I am looking at something, and whether believe I'm going to purchase a class or attend a class. And usually for me, it's not necessarily because I don't know how to do that project. Like, let's say I've taken knit classes for making a hat. It wasn't because I didn't know how to knit a hat. Sometimes I do them to keep me in the feel of it. Sometimes they utilize a different stitch that I haven't done a lot. Sometimes I do it because I just want to go and do a class with other people, like real live people around me. You sit, knit, you chat. I take coffee in with me, and for a few hours, I just have a really good time, and I maybe pay $20 or something, and that's fine. Another thing that I think about when I purchase is, what am I going to do with that particular set of skills in the future? I love to craft, but at the same time, it's also something that I do. I make them as gifts. I do them for myself. I wear my pieces. And so I'm always looking for things that will align with what I like to do with my craft. So I will not take a class probably for making a headband. Usually if I make something, I end up making it because it's something that I would wear or I would use, or someone asked me to make it. Like right now I'm working on this booties pattern because someone asked me if I could do it. And then there's other times when I make things because I see something and I want to know and test myself as to whether I can translate that into a physical piece on my own, just by looking at pictures or looking at something in a store. And it goes back to the crafting side of it. And of course, I do it during my prayer time, and that's something different. That's usually not structured. It's not a pattern. It's something that's very simple and straightforward and methodical. And so, yeah, it's different reasons. And so I look forward to what you all have to say. And I think that's it. And so if you could leave your comments, questions in the description box. Let me know what you think. You're going to see people moving around because my house is a lot right now. And I'd like to know, what are the deciding factors for you purchasing a class or purchasing patterns? And do you have maybe a ballpark as far as what's too much and what's too little? And yeah, let's see where this goes. I'd love to hear your feedback. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. And I will talk with you all hopefully sooner than later. Have a great weekend.